Hey, so we are in a hotel room in New York City right now, specifically in Nolita on the Bowery. Like I knew what that meant before today. But we came up here to watch the finale premiere of Jet Lag Season 5. And do you want to try to explain what jet lag is, or should I?
You might explain it better than me.
Okay, so it's a YouTube game show where they try to do different travel challenges, and the main guy who does it is a guy named Sam who does Wendover Productions and Half is Interesting and a couple other smaller YouTube channels that you guys might be familiar with, and you probably are if you share the same personality I do. And he does them competing against Ben and Adam, who are his writers, and he always brings a guest on who competes with him, and they do it as a team. Well, for one season they didn't, but almost all the time they do it that way.
Mm.
And this season, they were racing from the top of New Zealand to the bottom of New Zealand, and they had to do challenges to unlock different ways to get down.
Toby's a local Kiwi.
Yeah, she
Right?
is.
Yeah.
His guest this season was Toby, who's from the YouTube channel Tibby's, which is math stuff. I didn't know who she was until this season, but they have a streaming service called Nebula, which is the kind of their independent YouTube, where we give them money and that money supports them, and in exchange they do things like releasing longer episodes or bonus episodes. There's a podcast that goes out every week detailing everything that happened in the recently released episode of Jet Lag, and they also put every episode on Nebula a week early. And this time they put out an announcement saying that if you wanted to sign up, you could get tickets to the finale. And you had to be a Nebula subscriber to do it, and they would check the email you gave them and make sure it was linked to a Nebula account. And they let you bring one guest, so I brought my wife, who I probably would have brought anyway, because we do a lot of stuff together, and we like these videos a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And you'd never been to New York City proper, so just getting here was an adventure.
Yeah, this is my first time in New York, and this was quite interesting. And we had a little mishap in the subway.
Yeah, we got off our train at Penn Station. We actually went in the old Penn Station. I didn't get to see the new one, so you've still gotten to see the new Penn Station before I did.
Mm-hmm.
She came through here last July, and then had to sit with a very big and disgusting individual on the way home. No, it was not me.
Now, generally, I'd rather sit next to you versus that individual I was stuck with.
That's a story for another day. We got off the train at Penn Station and went to the subway. And I actually have the Metro cards here. I thought you tapped your Metro card, but you actually have to slide it. And so I slid mine, walked through. You slid yours, and then it didn't go through a few times. So finally it did go through, and you tested it, and the gate went through, but then it wouldn't let you through.
Yeah.
And what happened after that?
I got stuck. I had to go contact the lady with the safety vest.
Yeah, I asked the security guys, hey, my wife got stuck on the other side of the gate. What should we do? And they said, oh, get that lady in the orange vest to help you. So I leaned through the bars and said, hey, go to the lady in the orange vest.
And it's a yellow safety vest.
And so she told you to go over to them, and they could let you in a different door, but that guy made a few jokes instead of letting you in the door.
And it really upset me because I was already not okay, because I'm not a fan. Anybody that knows me knows I'm not a fan of the city. And it gives me a lot of anxiety to be in the city. So, yeah, that was... And then being separated from you in a very weird place that I'm not comfortable in. And a lot of people were very rude, which is typical of New York, unfortunately. But we've had quite a few as nice people, too.
Yeah, and
the lady was helpful.
I've never been on the New York subway by myself today. Like, the only other time I'd been on it was when I was 9 or 10, and me and my parents were on it. So they dealt with that.
Well, I'm not super mad at the guy. He was trying to crack a joke, but
We don't do jokes.
Well, and it wasn't the moment. It wasn't okay.
So we got to our hotel, and then I went to Lombardi's, which is the first pizzeria in the U.S. So you can show a piece of pizza from Lombardi's.
I actually got pasta too, but the box says America's first pizzeria, established 1905.
Yeah, by Gennaro Lombardi.
And it's a margarita pizza.
Mm-hmm. With real mozzarella.
Oh, it's so good.
It is so good.
We're going to try it out cold after we make this video.
So then we got here, and then we went over to the theater, which was like, what, a 15-minute walk away?
Something like that, yeah.
So we went over there. There was already a line forming outside the theater, which was some kind of indie theater. It's called the Angelica Film Center.
Mm-hmm.
So we walked over there, and there was a bunch of people standing around in different places. I walked inside and asked the lady there where we were supposed to go, and she said to wait outside because right then only VIPs and family were allowed in. And I saw Sam and Adam and Ben in there just standing around.
We didn't immediately see Toby.
Yeah, we saw her later. We were walking out. You held the door open for someone and didn't recognize him. And I told her afterward, honey, that's the CEO of Nebula.
I was shocked.
Which I only knew that because I'm on Reddit enough, and he's quite active on the Nebula subreddit with his picture.
He was really chill for a CEO. He's extremely chill, and that was so cool.
Yeah, I know, and he's not much older than we are, honestly.
Really?
I think so. Well, compared to the big executives at my company who are like as old as my parents.
That's a good point.
This guy looked like he was around our age.
I have a feeling he was a little bit older than we are.
A little bit, yeah, but not that much.
But he looks mighty fine for his age if he is a good bit older. In case he's watching. Doubtful, but who knows?
Yes, I know. And so we stood in line for a while. They came and gave us these buttons that say the snack zone on it, which is a inside joke for the season of Jet Lag. Ben and Adam's team review snacks, and they play this whole intro about enter the snack zone.
I thought they did it in another season too.
Did they?
I don't know. I think they were kind of like playing and toying with the idea, and then this season was the one that it really came out.
Yeah, I know they've done snack reviews and stuff.
Yeah, so I think this one kind of is when it ballooned.
So then they called us in and they scanned our tickets and they did a bag check, and we'll talk about the bag check later because we actually snuck something in. And,
nothing bad.
No, nothing bad. So we went in, we went to the theater. It was way down underground. Like, we were sitting in the theater, we could hear subway trains going by.
Yeah, like either beside us or right under us.
And they still had overpriced concessions there, like every movie theater.
Yeah, how much was the popcorn?
The popcorn was $11, and each of the bottles of Coke I got were $7.
Oh, that's as bad as like going to like a, I don't know, like a football game or something like that.
Well, it is New York.
Yeah, good point.
So we went to the theater, we sat down pretty close. While we were waiting to go in, someone walked by and I pointed to him and I was like,
I'm like, oh, that's Legal Eagle.
Yeah, it was Legal Eagle. He just walked right by. I didn't want to go, hey, that's Legal Eagle!
And draw attention. I'm sure he'd appreciate that.
But yeah, he's another YouTuber. He and Sam have collabed a few times.
Honestly, Devin, which is Legal Eagle, has collabed with a lot of people.
Mm-hmm. Especially Dr. Mike.
Yes.
Kind of surprised Dr. Mike didn't show up. Because he's in New York, too.
Somewhat, yeah. He could be busy. Who knows?
So we went in, and Dave, the CEO, came out again and said, hey, welcome to the show. Thank you again for supporting us. You had to be a Nebula subscriber to get in here, or you had to piggyback off a Nebula subscriber like you did. So he came in, and then he introduced Sam and Toby and Ben and Adam. And in one of the earlier episodes of this season, Toby had to do a challenge that required wearing a tie, and she had knit a tie, and she was wearing the knit tie this time. And so Sam and them all said a few words, and then they sat
And that
down.
is not a spoiler because that was in previous episodes.
Yeah, I'm only gonna say about specific things that have already happened that are out right now, whether that be on Nebula or on YouTube. Actually, everything that's out on Nebula, there's only one episode right now that's out on Nebula that's not on YouTube, and that one is gonna go on YouTube tomorrow.
Oh, so that's not really a spoiler, honestly.
And then it started. There's actually one more episode and then the finale to go. So they first put on the next episode that was going to come out on Nebula tomorrow. And it was awesome. Everyone was yelling and screaming and cheering every time there was a challenge.
Well, and Dave and all of them were they really expressed that they were appreciative of how passionate we were as a fan base.
Yeah, afterward, he said that he sat in the back of the theater the whole time and was just watching how we reacted. So that was awesome. We were just yelling and screaming and cheering.
That tickled them.
A lot of really funny stuff happened and a lot of really amazing, cool stuff happened. It felt like we were just at a football game or something all screaming.
Honestly, yeah, it kind of was.
And then after that, they played the one episode. I thought they would do an intermission between the one episode and the finale, but they didn't. They just went straight into the finale. And that happened, and everyone cheered and screamed. It had a good ending.
Yes, it was a very good ending. And honestly, it wasn't what I expected, in a sense.
But then it ended, everyone cheered again, and the Sam and Toby and Ben and Adam all came out again, and they did a question and answer session. And we were sitting kind of in the front half of the theater on the one side, and Dave picked out a few people from that area, and then he said, "I'm not going to answer questions from you guys anymore." He may or may not have used some profanity.
He was chill, but like it kind of is. It went along with the type of tone that even the show has. It's just, yeah.
He made a joke about, "Don't worry, guys, you're renewed for next season," which we heard from the podcast that they had been planning next season and got all the details straightened out recently. So that's good. So I never got to ask him my question. My question was going to be, are you going to release all the information for the challenges and the roadblocks and the curses, which are elements of the game? Because people like me probably make up a good portion of the jet lag fan base, aka nerds. Hey, I'm a professional nerd.
Yeah, pretty much. My sexy scientist.
Thank you. So then I never got my question answered, but a couple other people did, and they said if you want a picture with the jet lag crew, just hang around and we'll call you guys up row by row. And surprisingly, half the theater left then. They said if you don't want a picture, you can go. I thought more people would stick around.
Yeah, I was really surprised that so many people got up and left.
Legal Eagle got up and left.
Well,
he probably doesn't need another picture with Sam and them.
Yeah.
So we got in line, and the thing we stuck in was a bottle of vodka, because it's a running joke that Ben gets drunk every season. He didn't get drunk in season 3, but every other season up until now, we're not going to confirm or deny whether or not he gets drunk in the last episodes. He has gotten drunk, so we gave him the bottle of vodka. Well, actually, I collabed with Sam briefly back in 2019. We were going to do a video about the World Scout Jamboree, which didn't end up getting made, but we still collaborated for a while. So I went up to him and said, "Hi, Sam, we collaborated briefly in 2019 about the World Scout Jamboree. I'm Mike Motter." And he said, "Oh, yeah, I remember that." And you went to Ben and Adam and gave them that.
Yeah, I went, "Oh yeah, Ben, we actually brought you something." "Oh, really?" I said, "Yeah, we brought you this," and it was Tito's.
Like a pint bottle of Tito's.
Yeah, it was just a little pint. I said, "For the next season, maybe." He said, "Oh, that's okay. I'm gonna enjoy it tonight." And Adam said, "Oh, we're gonna all enjoy that one."
I'm sure they would. And then we all lined up and got a picture taken. People gave them other stuff. Like there was one person who gave him some fan art to sign, and I think someone else gave him a T-shirt.
I think I have fan art on it too.
Yeah, I think it did. They didn't show us what it was, but we did.
You may wear it some point in time.
We had our picture taken with them, and I just fist bumped them. Adam asked everyone to just do a fist bump so he doesn't go for a handshake and you go for a fist bump and it gets awkward.
Or vice versa. He said, for everyone to know, fist bump from now on.
And when I went up to Sam, he went to shake my hand, and he was like, "Oh wait, Adam said not to do that."
It was so funny.
And
but Toby was so sweet. She sounded so sweet and kind.
she was, and she just exuberated good vibes.
Her hand was cold though. Well, she is a Kiwi.
Yeah, it's summer down there. It's winter up here.
Yeah, well, it's spring, and our spring, I believe, is a little cooler.
Yeah.
But luckily, they came up when it's a little warmer.
So we, so then we left. We talked to a few other people, and then we came back to the hotel.
Mm-hmm.
And that is our story of going to the jet lag finale. Any other thoughts?
I really liked it. I liked it a lot, and I liked sitting in that environment watching it too.
And tomorrow, yeah, that was awesome watching that environment.
Was it just me, or was it like just a little better because of the environment, or just because the episode itself was so good?
I think it's a combination of both. It's like the feeling where you go to the movies and see a really good movie on the big screen for the first time.
Yeah.
Which is better than just watching it at home for the first time.
Yeah. Well, and this was the finale after all.
It was.
And it was very suspenseful.
They did one of these before, but it was just for like a random episode, which I missed the memo on. Otherwise, I would have tried to get us tickets for that. Hey, it was season 4, and season 4 is all out now. They did joke that they had a secret other team that was just Brian from Real Engineering, who was the guest last season, which they said they had to cut all of him out, but everyone laughed at that. Alright. Tomorrow we're going to the September 11th memorial, which she's always wanted to do, and I've always wanted to do.
Well, it's a sentiment to me.
Mm-hmm. So we will go do that, and we'll let you guys know how it goes.
Yeah.
Have a good night.
Have a good night.